Welcome to this presentation for the Custom and Border Protection and the Border Patrol Agent and also the ICE Special Agent entrance exam test preparation. So this presentation is brought to you by CaliforniaRealEstateLicenseSchool.com. It's a website that helps candidates in law enforcement and real estate to prepare for these important exams. So our company has been helping students, test takers, since I believe this company was working in Los Angeles area in California since 2007, I believe. Yes, it is. And we have helped thousands of students take these law enforcement exams, including for CBP and ICE. Now, because of the fact that the ICE Special Agent exam is now very close and has a lot of overlapping material with the CBPO and the BPA, the Border Patrol Agent and Customs and Border Protection Officers exam, we decided to combine these products together. So now for one test prep, you basically can prepare for all these three exams. I believe the CBPO is the hardest one, and then, you know, a little bit maybe easier than that would be the Special Agent exam, and then after that would be the Border Patrol Agent, but they're all challenging exam, and we're going to talk about that. You will notice that the Special Agent ICE doesn't require Polygraph, and we'll talk about Polygraph too in this video. We'll talk about interview, we'll talk about the panel interview, of course, and a little bit of the whole hiring process and everything that we get as far as feedback from our students. Their perspective is always very interesting for us to know and to hear. So let's move on now to these positions. So of course, if you are taking any of these exams, you are basically telling the U.S. government that you will not talk about what is on the exam. So you have to keep the secrecy, okay? So you can't just be taking the exams and then go out and tell people what the questions are, okay, or things like that. So these are all basically you're signing a not to disclose contract, NDA or some agreement, not to disclose agreement with the U.S. government. So you will not talk about what is on the exam, what are the questions, things like that. So we do not work for the U.S. government. We're a private company, so we can allow ourselves to basically provide you practice tests. We can provide you those flashcards. We'll go over them. But you as a candidate, you know, that can also be an issue if they catch you on social media talking about the exam, what was on the exam, things like that. So a lot of these things can come back and bite you during your background investigation. So be very mindful of that as well. So now let's talk about a little bit the product that we have, and then we'll go over. So we, as I explained to you, we combine these three test prep into one. And so for our candidate for the CBPO, BPA, Border Patrol Agent, and ICE Special Exam, we combine them together. As mentioned on the website too, when you go through the flashcards, some of these will have arithmetic, it will have math questions, a small portion of it. Most of it is going to be logical reasoning, and then also English skills, writing, spelling, reading, and then also some cloze, CLOZE test, so fill in the gaps to kind of test your overall mastery of English language and find out how you can basically come up with this missing element, and if you can guess them, how if it sounds right to you, and that kind of gives the U.S. government a multifaceted way of like testing your English knowledge and English level and your mastery of that language. So all of that is covered in our test prep. So you will have vocabulary tests. For instance, I'm just going to click on this one, and you can start a quiz right there, and then it would ask you, and it would have questions that you can, and it would immediately tell you, for instance, let's say I'm just going to say this, is this the right answer? And it would immediately tell you if it's correct or not. So you don't need to go through the end of the test to get your score. Of course, all these practice tests are scored, but you can do a little bit of it every day. So like, for instance, these flashcards this is about 653 flashcards. So you might not have time to do it in one session, but this website is very mobile friendly on your iPhone, on your Android phone, on your iPad, on your computer. Anywhere you're going to pull this website on, you get on there, you're going to see all these modules are basically mobile friendly, and you can just do a little bit of these practice tests every day, and then you just build up, okay, your knowledge, your strength, and until you get ready for the exam. So as I said, we cover everything in these exams for CBPO and Border Patrol agent, and also for ICE special agent. The only question that we get a lot is the HSI agent can use our exam to get to basically, and the answer is yes. The only portion that the HSI special agent, which is not the same as the ICE special agent, have in their exam, is the essay portion. They have a first portion that is an essay based. So you need to work with the essay company to basically make sure that you can actually write an essay. So they have to see your writing, correct you and all that. We do not have essay on our website. That's why we only advertise our test prep for CBP officers, entrance exam, Border Patrol agent, and ICE agent. But if you are preparing for HSI, only understand that you can use our test prep here. All this material will apply to the second portion of the HSI exam, but your first option is writing an essay. So you need to work with someone that would have you write multiple essay and kind of correct you back and forth. So it's something that you might be able to find online, an essay service company that would locally be able to help you with that. So the answer is yes, you can use our test prep for HSI, but you also have to work on your essay. For ICE agent, for Border Patrol agent, and for CBP officers candidate, they don't need anything else. All they need is already in our test prep, and they do not need to study anywhere else. Everything, we got them covered, and we have a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people have used our test prep material. So now this is interesting. You see, we also have video tutorial for you to basically watch and listen to and get ready also for the interview question. So we have mock interview kind of situations that you can practice and kind of just get ready for the interview, the panel interview section of your preparation. And then we also have the commonly misspelled words. We have, it just goes on and on. This is a very complete and complex preparation that we created, and we carefully engineered this test prep to really serve well anybody who wants to take the Customs and Border Protection Officers exam, the Border Patrol Agent exam, and the ICE Special Agent exam. And we cover all these areas. So logical reasoning, English test, reading, writing, spelling, arithmetic and math reasoning for the CBPO and the ICE Special Agents. and the Border Patrol agents, they're going to be tested on also logical reasoning and their English level and the mastery of the English language. So, and all these manuals are also listed on our website, so that you can, study them there or download it officially from the DHS. So let's look a little bit at our CBPO exam. So you look at this is a pretty complex step-by-step basically process. So one quick tip that I want to give you for the medical exam and also fitness test. A lot of time your medical exam and fitness test is going to be in the same facility. So I suggest that you would go on Yelp, and let's say they will give you the choice of finding an approved provider, and a lot of these people, they do exams for basically pre-employment medical exams. So a lot of these guys they are listed on Yelp and on Google for pre-employment medical exams for just private companies, like truck companies. They do like drug tests for truck companies to make sure the drivers are not, the drug addicts or whatnot. So look them up before you select which approved medical facility you want to go and do your medical exam for, medical and fitness exam for the CBPO and then also Border Patrol. And the reason I'm telling you this is because we had a lot of students who had to retake the entrance exam because the entrance exam is only valid. Usually it used to be valid only for a year, but now they can reduce it to 6 months if they put an update on it. So if you look right now, if you go to the Border Patrol and Customs page, they all say, look, any test score prior to March 2021, no longer valid. So it doesn't matter if you took yours and then let's say you launching your application because there was an issue, because you gave up, because something went wrong with your polygraph, and then you came back and you appealed it and they wanted to give you another shot or whatnot. So a lot of time people say, well, listen, my written exam score was 78, was 84, was 90, whatever. It was within the year. Please validate it. And they're going to say, no, it was prior to March 16, 2021. So be mindful of that, but also they let you take the exam 6 months later, but they could update it and say, anything that came that is older than 6 months, we were not going to accept it. So that can happen too. So on paper, I believe it's valid for a year, but there could be an update and they could come out and say, no, it's not valid. So why does this have anything to do with the medical exam? So here's the trick. So a lot of time, when you choose your medical facility to go to, as I said, research them on Yelp, read their reviews, and then pick from there. Okay, so Google reviews, Yelp reviews. In my opinion, whatever we had available in Los Angeles area, it was all 2 stars or 1 star. So they were all really rated really bad. Okay, so everybody that we had locally preparing for CBP or BPA, they had to basically choose between bad and worse. So they, they had, so even within the bad and worse, by reading the reviews, looking at the number of the stars and recommendation, you can still try to choose bad instead of getting worse. So why is that important? Is because a lot of time when these medical facilities, they run the test, it just takes one tiny mistake in the form. Let's say your peripheral vision, they tested your near vision, your farsighted, whatever, but then they forgot one side of your peripheral vision, or your eye pressure, or something in your hearing test. If any of these things is missing, it would take the hiring office of CBP or Homeland Security or ICE to basically, maybe it would take them 5-6 months to catch the error, and then they will have you reschedule an exam again, either with the same medical facility or with another one. I have had students in our school preparing for CBPO, for the Customs and Border Protection Officer, who had to go 3 times to the same medical facility in Inglewood, California, right next to the LAX airport, and they end up at every third time, every time within these 3 times, they end up making some kind of different mistake. So at one point, the hiring person, the HR specialist for Customs and Border Protection, contacted the candidate who was the student at our online school and told him, listen, just pick another place, because now you're going to have to, of course, redo the written exam. All these, your scores are invalid. They're expired now. And then every time you go back to this place in Inglewood, they end up making like something worse instead of completing what they missed the last time. So he ended up finding another place that was a little bit further. He had to drive a little bit more, but it was he told me, it was like a much better, much higher class level facility. And finally it went through. So the medical exam and fitness can cause an error or missing thing that can be caught way later, and it would delay all of that. It would delay your interview, it would delay your polygraph, it would make your entrance exam score expire. And these are things that people really don't tell you, and they don't want to talk about it, but it happens. And then the actual exam, CBP officer, I mean, look at this beast. You got 81-minute logical reasoning, 5-minute break, then the arithmetic reasoning, 87 minutes. Then you have writing test, which is all English test, and the closed test, spelling, the test, the synonym, like they would put like different words that kind of mean the same or sound the same, like. Think of like affluent and effluent. Affluent is like people that are super rich, but effluent is completely the opposite. Is the sewage, is the sewer. Okay, so it would kind of put these very similar sounding words together with a little sentence, and then it might sound the same, and you might make a mistake. So just be very careful with that. That's why in our test prep we put a very strong emphasis in English language preparation. It doesn't matter for which of these exams. We have, put like at every level of English language, we put a test prep, a practice test, flashcards for it. And then also we're covering, there are flashcards there that are covering the arithmetic and math sections for the CBPO, and also the ICE agent. So this was a quick presentation. I'm not going to get into too much. I want to give a little tip for also the polygraph exam. So a quick tip for that before we wrap it up. So again, a lot of people have issues with polygraph. If you happen to fail your polygraph exam, definitely appeal it. There's an appeal process that you can do, and that can give you another shot to take it again. And if you, because of age limitation or anything that you might not be able to take it again, then immediately go and apply for the ICE exam. Okay, so because as I said, these 3 exams, they have a lot of overlapping. Okay, so for ICE special agent and for CBP. So if I really recommend to taking all of these at the same time, and don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, so try to take these tests all at the same time, because you never know if you get you have any issue on the polygraph and you get delayed and you have to take it again, and then all of a sudden you go through with this one and now you have a job offer, that will put you in a much better situation. So that's my tip number one for your polygraph. Another tip that I can give you for polygraph exam is that the investigators that are in charge of your polygraph, they're not just picked randomly. These are guys that kind of work on your background. They pulled your FBI rap sheet if you have one, if you had a record of conviction or arrest. A lot of people have records of arrest and they don't even know. So they have never been convicted and they never been charged with anything. So I would recommend you to go through FBI and try to pay, like, I think it's $30 or whatever, and try to have FBI fingerprint you and give you a copy of your FBI rap sheet in case there is any kind of record of arrest on there. And if there is, let's say you were arrested but they ended up not charging you for DUI or whatnot, you go ahead and try to document, you contact the district attorneys of that jurisdiction that you were arrested in and get a letter from them that you were not charged, and then you try to submit that to FBI and force them to remove that arrest record from your information. Because every time you're going to do a fingerprint or biometric or run your socials in the system, all that arrest information is going to pop up, and that's going to be a little red flag for the investigators. So if you had arrest on your record that didn't lead into conviction, definitely you want to do the paperwork to be able to remove it from the record. But even if you don't have time to do that, you're already in the process and you are already going for it, and doing that will take a lot of time, and they already pulled your rap sheet, do not lie about the arrest. Okay, so when they're gonna bring the polygraph exam to such a way that they will try to ask you these questions and force you to lie. So the issue at hand might not be a big issue. Okay, you were pulled over because you were speeding, you might have been temporarily arrested but then ended up not convicted or whatnot, or you were involved in a fight or something like that. Do not lie to the investigator, or even if like you forgot, try to get your own rap sheet and find out what you have on there, and don't lie about it. Just say, okay, yeah, I was detained, I was arrested, but there was no evidence for criminal activity and I was not charged, and that was the end of the case. That's it. So this way you come across as honest and not deceiving and not hiding things. A lot of people are saying, no, I never was arrested, because they forgot. It was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's still on the rap sheet. They don't know. But then the investigator said, look, I have the rap sheet. There's a record of arrest, even though there was no disposition, didn't lead to conviction. But this person, during the polygraph, while being videoed and audio recorded, said that he never been arrested. Or they have foreign contact, foreign families from Mexico, Guatemala, Brazil, Venezuela, from Iran, from Afghanistan, from whatever they are originally from, even though they never left the country, or they are basically U.S. citizen born and raised here. Well, look at this Facebook picture. They are hanging out, in vacation overseas with this foreign family. So this is evidence enough for me that this person, during the polygraph, lied and said, oh, I never had foreign contact. So even if it's a small contact, a phone conversation, whatever it is, do make sure that you are disclosing that information, because that just will give the investigator one reason to disqualify you, and he's going to have plenty of evidence to back it up. So you can appeal that. He will just submit the evidence, not to you, but to the entity that manages the appeal, and it would still going to side with his decision. So a quick tip, I'm going to wrap this video up. Don't forget to check out our test prep at CaliforniaRealEstateLicenseSchool.com, which is a website dedicated to real estate and law enforcement test prep. Thanks for sponsoring this video. The cost of the test prep, I believe, is $39.95. Most of their test prep for LAPD, for Pellet B, California, CHP, all of that is $39.95. So I think for the CBPO, Border Patrol Agent, is also $39.95 for 2-month access. and I think they're going to make maybe a longer access for 6 months or a year. I believe so, but it's not. I haven't seen it on the website. So the team that is managing that, I'll have to talk to them. But yeah, that's pretty much all the information I can give you so far. And then anything that is updated with these exams is also going to be listed in that section, in that page section of the website. So all the manuals, all the links for any kind of change or update to the exam will always be updated, because this test prep website is updated every month. So they're always you know, at the edge of what's happening. They're always you know, updating their material. There is really no outdated test prep material in their website, and they always make sure that their test prep material is relevant regarding what is being tested now, this month, this year, on the exam. So thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to give this video a little thumbs up. A like rating would be appreciated. And yeah, don't forget to leave a comment if you found anything helpful on this video. A small comment would be also helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.